ETF on Ross's side, and then Kevin is playing Whizzard. Excellent.
Oh, cool.
So we got all the new tech back in the meta. So we see both these guys shuffling up. So it looks like Kevin's going to be running with Whizzard first against Engineering the Future. And that seems like an okay matchup, right? I mean, HB's got all the premier assets in the game. Whizzard is the guy who definitely can do something about it.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be an interesting game.
So we see, what do we got going on here?
I think it's an inject into.
Okay. Inject.
I'm not sure what's happening.
No, I think you're right. I think that was inject. We ditched a nerve agent. Oh, career fair. Okay. So
that's so good. I love
career
I
love
fair
that
when
play.
You get a daily cast. That's 8 credits.
It's beautiful.
Just blowing on in. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, that's definitely been, I think, a big boost to a lot of decks, a lot of resource-heavy decks. I mean, I've been a big fan of modded for a while, and having that effect is just so good. So now we draw up NAPD in hand, got some ice, but I think he's looking to establish a remote. And let's see what we got. So sexy robots going down. Time to get the money going.
It's good. Both of them have their econ engine set up pretty well. Like getting Katie this early is going to do a lot of work against HB.
Yeah, and I'll be curious to see how aggressive Kevin runs this, because I mean, Whizzard is at his best when he is getting accesses, and so you know it's less good if you're kind of hanging back and letting your breakers get online, because he can be a little bit slower to develop.
Man, inject is so good.
Yeah, it's real good. Especially when you get the career fairs in hand, you can just kind of fire off whatever you get.
That's unfortunate, because you have to recur those. But you got Deja Vu to recur.
Yeah.
I think it would make sense to run, though, because it might most likely be a Bioroid. You can click it if you really feel so, and then just trash that asset, get it out of the way now.
There's so little that can hurt you at this stage of the game that I agree. I tend to, with Anarch, try to train myself to run pretty aggressively. So can't see the cards in his hand, but we're drawing up. I think Ottman is what he – maybe I miss –
that is an Ottman.
Yeah.
Looks like it.
Because that seems to be the new Anarch rig, is people are running 2 of Corroder, Mimic, Yogg, and then 1 Ottman to top it off. I know we saw Chris Yang in the in our regionals cast, who was kind of running that breaker suite with data sucker support. And so, I mean, it seems to have been putting up results, even though you've got to get a lot of it installed before you're really online.
Yeah, Ottman's it's such a good card. Like you can set a very common strength, like 4, sometimes 5 if you really need to.
Yeah.
But it can do a lot of good work. Especially because, like, if you have Yogg as your code gate solution, then you just put it at 4 to deal with Lotus Field, and you're golden. Whoa, Ross scoring out early here.
ABT, Ross, you can redeem
to,
yourself.
Yeah,
there it is. Oh,
no.
Ross is going to slap me when this cast is over. Not like this. Not like this, Ross.
Maybe he won't run it. Maybe he won't run it.
I'm getting the call out on stream. Yeah, I know. Sorry, Ross. I let you down there.
I think that's a great trigger, though.
That's
this early,
why
he's got
you
3
trigger.
ice. He's got 3 ice out. You think he's going to hit something.
That's exactly why you trigger.
A couple in hand, maybe?
And
just 1 in hand.
When I played at the last SMC event, I triggered, and I literally gave Corey every single point he scored off of flopped beta tests. But you know what? I took that game, I played it like a man, and I feel better about myself for it. So, Ross, you should be proud.
That's an acceptable trigger right there.
Yeah, I agree. Especially HB, I mean, these big ice decks, they can get to the point where they lock you out, especially against Whizzard with a fixed breaker suite. So, I mean, I don't look at this as, oh, he scored 4 points, so the game is over. I mean, this is very much a deck where Ross gets his economy back. He can get rolling.
Whizzard here not to run. He was at 1 credit.
I agree.
You got to run then trash that Adonis.
I agree. It's still providing Ross value, and that's his way back into this game.
Ross just clicks for money here.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the upgrades in hand. I mean, he can create a server that locks Kevin out, no question.
It's really hard to see Kevin's credits, though. I'm having trouble reading them.
Yeah, agreed. I think is it 8?
Yeah, if they're all 2s,
yeah, I think so.
But he's got a lot of money.
All right, so not running.
Now he's running it. No res.
Yeah, but the turn earlier, right? It would have. That's 3 credits lighter on Ross's part, so I totally agree with you.
Interesting, no res though.
And let's see if Ross starts to put those upgrades in to try and bait Whizzard into another run. I don't know what the ice is on the remote, but, you know, obviously Kevin is going to have to burn his whole turn if it's a Bioroid that he needs to click through. Oh, so we see the I just realized I thought my eyes were bad from yesterday, but we've got the stack of regional playmats. Ross just, just putting the bling on the table.
You just drop his trophy on
Yeah.
there, too. Put it in between him and the runner.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
like you have to run through the trophy to get to my servers.
I still, when you were racking up store championships, Ahmed, I was suggesting that you use your store championship plaques as click trackers. Just flip them over when you're done.
Pacers got the ultimate time. If
Yeah,
you win
right.
one more, you can use them as a corp click tracker.
Absolutely.
Huge trophy. Oh, man.
So Whizzard trying to figure out, where to go, and this is always the tough part. You got to figure out, when to build and when to get aggressive with him.
Yeah.
David will be nice, but a lot of the Bioroid ice that's most effective. Eli, Ichi 1, even Marcus. David doesn't really necessarily hit that.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to feel in a pretty good spot, though. To get to 4 against HB, most of their agendas are pretty easy to steal. The only thing
totally
you can't take straight off the bat is NAPD, most likely in this agenda suite. So, I mean, you just got to get a couple good accesses and you're good. Yep. Eli has to be. Yep.
There we go. So, yeah, I mean, this is...
Ross really wants a click here.
Yeah.
Just for him to take a whole turn and just, if he whiffs, and then Ross can, maybe set up a remote that he can't get into afterwards. Doesn't seem to be that. Although he's got a lot of money on Liberated and Katie, he's going to have to click for it.
All right, so we're going Earthrise Hotel, so we're going to gear back up, and I think that totally makes sense. I mean, Kevin's got the lead. There's not a well-established remote.
See, Kevin's also making a mistake I often do as well, where I feel like he's getting complacent with Katie. He hasn't been hitting her every turn consistently. I agree. And now, that's fine for now. You've got this liberated money, but that's going to go away soon. That should be ticking every turn.
I agree. She is at her best.
Especially in a space where Ross is not threatening anywhere, you're setting up, you need to work on that.
And that's what she's for, right? She punishes passive court play.
Yeah.
So we're checking
now he's
this
running
remote.
with 2 credits.
Yeah. Well, doesn't do anything, but other than, we get it in archives and the annoyance factor.
Yeah.
I imagine Ross can get that back with the Jackson. I'm sure he's going to. He suspects the medium dig sometime down the road.
Yeah, that's the great thing about ETF. You can just install that to gain that credit that you're going to just
bait
click for
them
anyway and just make them waste the click.
Absolutely.
It's a good place. Let's see. He's running HQ.
Ah, beautiful.
Architect. I like this.
This will get him back.
Especially, I think Ross only has NAPD in hand, so this is great for him. And now he knows what's happening.
Yeah, I like installing the Eve off of this. Yeah, this is perfect.
Yeah.
And then you draw ice next turn.
And now he knows he's content with R&D.
Yeah.
All he's got is NAPDs in hand.
That's right.
Like
Kevin's on 2
He's
credits.
got 1 in hand right now, but he's going to draw a couple more. And then he's going to put it in daily business show from the archives. He's pretty good. This is pretty good for him.
Architect is a good card.
Yeah. Even if he doesn't hit the NAPD, I mean, you want him not to, just so he doesn't have that information. You'd rather just see
always
some randomized.
6s. This is why I don't roll dice.
Yeah, just let him see a randomized like Ichi.
So I think the important thing here is, there's different flavors of HP engineering the future ice suites. You could sometimes play the next suite or the Bioroid suite, and I think he knows now. He's seen enough. I mean, Eli is something that sometimes gets slotted in both, but I think Kevin now knows, okay, I'm running against a Bioroid heavy deck.
Yeah.
All right, so we got the assets flowing.
That's some cash investment. I hope he can res this ice in front of Eve.
Yeah.
It's just a little easy for Whizzard to get to. In terms of trash.
I mean, I imagine Kevin's probably going to go after the daily business show first.
Actually, if I was Ross, I may not have res DBS there. Because you're content with those top 4.
That's a good point.
But he also wants to go through them quicker. I think he really wants to get to Econ. So now, like a couple turns, he's getting fresh cards. And if he has DBS, it keeps going. He's going to make sure he doesn't take an agenda. So I guess it's fine. He does need. I think that's what Ross needs most right now. He's got a couple ice in hand. He needs Econ now.
Yeah.
So he can shore up R&D.
I'm curious whether Ross decides to put one of the upgrades in his hand on R&D, because you are kind of in this situation where if Kevin gets a medium or a parasite or something, you could find yourself in a very quickly snowballing, and it may be.
Do you have Ross's list? Does he have Biotic?
I do not have it in front of me.
I don't know.
He does have 2 Biotics.
Okay.
I know he's playing Michael's list. I
think maybe the first. If you can get like that Ichi in front of R&D, and then maybe you put your first Caprice in front of R&D.
I like that.
And then just have DBS just waiting and waiting. Because you can probably make a remote he can't get into.
Okay, so now Kevin can deal with the Architect, so that's nice.
Until he patches it.
Yeah. Right? Too soon? Too soon? So let's see. We've got, because here's the thing about Whizzard, right, in these big rig Anarch decks, as I call them. I mean, you've got the Mimic out, you've got a David out to deal with the big stuff. But still, to deal with Eli, to deal with code gates that I imagine we'll see a Victor at some point. You really do need to get kind of that full rig set up, and that it takes time. That's more cards that Kevin's got to draw, more money he's got to spend installing.
Because it takes usually the other two factions, Shaper, Criminal, they have easier access to get that breaker faster.
That's right.
Whatever they're missing, Whizzard has to get there the hard way. It's good trash there.
Yeah, agreed. You can't let that stay on the board.
Yeah, it's good trash. You know what HB really needs is like a small, like 2-cost, 1-cost ice. Like they got Pup, you've got Pop Up. HB doesn't have something like
Next
that.
Sweet. Next.
Yeah, but no, he's not.
Next ice so good.
He's not really running. I'm saying it's something to block that.
That's fair.
The Whizzard trashes here. Like there's no easy oh here's a cheap look.
That is fair.
Usually what HB has to do. It's like you think about RP. RP can have one small ice protecting a sun and leave it. HB usually ends up having to wait for this Eve to trickle out all the way through. Like their you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's honestly that is why I've gravitated toward the next ice because you want to res it because it helps all the other ice that are on the board. But yeah, I agree with you. You don't want to leave those, especially against Whizzard. I mean, when you see Whizzard, you've got to protect your assets because it is a very significant part of the
I think
game
DBS
plan.
is actually worth protecting here
too.
Because he's got Eve well protected. He's not going to score out until he gets a good value out of it. And then if he protects DBS, he can make sure he doesn't get flooded, which is really the one way he's going to lose.
Yeah.
I think Whizzard is not going to try R&D too much here.
I agree.
Until he gets Corroder. And again, if he doesn't, I don't know, I think you click Katie here as your last click.
Yeah, I agree.
Either add to that or take it off.
Because you and I both play, Shaper decks with Katie, and I think that I've trained myself. When people say, "Well, wait, do you click her every turn, or why didn't you run?" I just said, there will be a point where if you're not clicking her, you're going to notice that you run out of money if the game goes long.
It's easy to feel comfortable like that first time you take it off. You go to 20, 30 credits.
Yeah.
And you just run, and then you realize, wait, I'm out of money.
That's right.
But here, he's not. He's running. He's doing a good job, threatening different servers, but that. He's clicked it the first few times after he installed it, but it hasn't got him as much value as it should be.
And if you look at these I say new, but these, these big rig anarch decks, as I call them, right, they're very click-intensive economies for the most part. You've got liberated accounts and Katie, but if you're not clicking Katie, then, you've got a 30 recon package that's doing nothing for you. And liberated, to your point, that money, you've got to click for it, and it will run out quickly, especially with this Bioroid deck.
Yep.
So Kevin kind of figuring out, do I draw, do I continue to build, or do I start to attack? But Ross doing the right thing of slowly just doing what ETF does and just grind it out.
Yeah, I think how comfortable Ross would have been though.
Yeah,
if hadn't been agendas.
Think of that.
You just blanked
just one of those ice. Think of one of those for ice. Get an Ichi out of the deal, right?
You could have placed it over archives. I don't know.
Oh
That's
well.
What you do. He triggered it early.
I'll be hearing about this in the interview. I'll guarantee you that.
We'll ask about it. Well, he already called you out for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you wait till you get that one ice, though, to lay it out there.
Yeah, and so we've seen enough ice on the board.
Yeah.
I look at that Ottman in Kevin's hand, and, I think he's quickly at a point where I would feel very comfortable just install Ottman at 4 at this point.
Yeah, you've seen the Ichi also in HQ,
That's right.
He saw that when
He's seen that. That's right.
Yeah, Ottman at 4 is a good choice.
Because, you've got Victor 2 that might be out of range, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, Ottman at 4 is great, and then you've got... But then you run to the lower, what is Ross's lower ice suite? Because watch, if he has Ottman at 4, he's got 2 data suckers as well.
Right.
So he needs something to deal with the lowest stuff. But what did Ross have at that level? We don't know.
I think he may be playing Marcus. Oh, we've seen Ichi too. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's got Marcus. So you've got a 3.
Marcus, that's a 3. And what's his code gate situation? Turing is going to be 2.
Turing, I believe.
But they'll go in a remote.
And I think Victor's. I don't know if it's Victor 1 or Victor 2.
I played Ross as a fun game during the break. Yeah, so he's got Victor 2.0.
Okay.
I saw that.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I'm curious, I think he's going to let this Eve run out, and then I'm curious when he starts to actually establish that remote and make Kevin try to come after it.
I think, because he's got Ash in hand as well.
Yeah.
Which I think is a good place to have it. Maybe you put in the remote just to gain that credit if you're not going to install anything else.
Yeah, I agree.
And then as soon as you top an agenda, install the Caprice.
Because he has the NAPD in hand. That's not the one he wants, clearly. He may be a little gun-shy after the accelerated beta test fire. He may be looking for a Vitruvius instead.
He still triggers beta test. Come on, man.
Hey, I agree.
Jackson's good here.
Yeah, Jackson's real nice.
He's got 2 Jacksons.
Yeah, I like your play, Ahmed, of just hey, install one of the 2 upgrades. You're going to have it. And yeah, there he goes.
Yeah,
Ash goes down. Get the credit. He knows he's going to need it on that server eventually.
Yeah, I might have even. I think you go for the NAPD next turn.
All right, so he's cashing out. You know, Engineering the Future has reached that point of the game where they're just so filthy rich that
the NAPD is. I mean, the Eve is just doing work.
Eve's a great card.
Still chilling.
Oh yeah.
The money. It's been a while.
All right, so let's see what we got. So we got Ichi. So he's got the data sucker to deal with that. That's fine, but you know, this is the point where 3 subroutines and then 2 on Architect. This is like you said. I mean, that Katie money might come back to haunt him because 5 credits that goes away fast.
Yeah, we really need him. If he hits the NAPD though here, he's in such a good
Yeah,
spot.
no, that's a great point. So we got what, 4 cards in hand, I believe.
No, it should be 5, because all he did was install the Ash.
No, you're right. I missed the bottom one. Yeah, I agree. I mean, seeing one at a time isn't great, but if we know the NAPD's been sitting there, if he does pull it, that's huge.
I don't understand what they're thinking.
All right,
about.
let's
He
see.
paid it, right? 1 NAPD. No Caprice.
Well, that's not bad to hit as well. If you're going to hit a non-agenda card.
Oh, he still got another Caprice.
Always a Caprice.
That's good for Ross.
You feel so accomplished after you trash her, and then.
Yeah, I think even if he doesn't top a better agenda, he has to score this NAPD. I think he can't take the risk of it staying in his hand.
Yep. Interesting, over Archives. I mean, he doesn't want to build up Data Sucker, so I totally respect that.
But he might just run HQ again. What if he's like splashing on legwork as well?
Yeah, I think Ross clearly wants to run out this Eve before he starts scoring, which is fine. I don't disagree with that play. I mean, Kevin's he hasn't shown him any multi-access yet. He hasn't put him under any real pressure, so I think he's fine to continue to build. But I agree. When that Eve runs out, I fully expect.
His next axis is really strong. Either he's going to hit a Jackson, Caprice, or an agenda.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I think you just get that agenda out of your hand. And also the Caprice in a way as well.
Trying to look, I think Kevin's at 7 credits, and then he's got a decent amount on Katie at this point. Yeah, all the monies. Got Baby Online, Daily Cast, Liberated, all the money.
I still think Katie hasn't been clicked since we've been talking about it. It's just chilling there.
Yeah. That is not the way Katie wants to be played.
Do it. He's doing it.
All right, there we go.
Katie's back. All right, Ross, score this NAPD.
Turing's a nice one.
Like, the longer you wait, the more likely he's going to get a solution for whatever ice
How
is
about
in the remote.
Install Turing, install NAPD Advance?
I'm okay with that.
Almost like I played this game before. There we go.
That's good.
Yeah, Turing's going to do work.
5 strength, though.
Yeah.
So David can break it.
That's fine. I mean, you want to wear out the David counters. I mean, he's got the clone chip, but to me, I mean, it's one of those where, you know, Kevin doesn't know that at this point. It could be something more threatening than that.
There's got to be something there that's going to stop him. But if he's all Bioroid heavy, what is going to stop him here?
Well, I think, you know, he's probably, in Ross's mind, he hasn't seen Yogg, he hasn't seen Corroder. And so in his mind, it's, okay, if Kevin reads, I may not be able to get into this server. And it, you know, doesn't run. He sees the face down, so it may be Caprice, maybe Ash. Ross is clearly, at least, well, now Katie's cleared, so now we're back in the money. That is.
I think I would have not ice and just played the Caprice game. Instead of putting Turing there,
yeah,
I think I just put Caprice in the remote.
I think that's a fine play. I don't disagree. Oh, wow. So, okay. So Kevin's loaded.
Kevin's got more than Ross.
But I think your point's right. I mean, let's see how kind of quickly this money dries up. I mean, when you're running against Bioroids, that I think the good thing is if he does get Ottman on the board, that will make this so much more efficient with Data Sucker online. But again, I mean, we'll see if he chooses to install it. I think this is the point, to your point, with a Rezzed, Ichi, and Eli. I would feel totally comfortable putting it at 4. Let's see.
This might backfire because now he's spending too many clicks. Because if one of those, what if one of those, what if there's a Marcus in there?
Yeah, that's fair.
What can he clone chip? What's in his trash? Oh, Croder's in his trash.
Is it? Oh, that's right. From the inject earlier. You're right. No, that's a great point.
Oh, so what can I don't know what Ross is doing then. I think he needed that Caprice more than ice on that server.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I mean, Ash is fine, but he's not going to pour money into this Ash trace. All right, so 5 strength. I imagine David's going to be the choice here. I mean, that's frankly his best target based on what he's seen so far.
Reduce break.
I don't know. I feel like going against Unknown Ice, your Data Sucker counters are pretty valuable, at least for this run.
Why did you draw a card?
Wow. He bounced? Wow.
And he
I don't.
drew a
Did he?
card?
Do you think he didn't think about David?
But he has Omni forward. There's 2 breakers.
But
he can't
David.
break. Oh yeah, it says yeah. David.
But it's 5 strength.
I think he saw the 2.
I wonder if he just forgot about David.
That gets either he forgot about David or he forgot that thing goes to 5. Maybe he just saw the 2
Yeah, it goes
strength.
to 5.
No,
yeah.
maybe So either or he saw the 2 and he's like, oh, I can't break.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I'm going through that with David all day. Interesting. Okay.
I'm very.
We'll have to make a note to ask Kevin about that in the post
It's a strange
interview.
thing.
All right, so we're gonna go to
Did you see
HQ
what Ross,
instead.
what did Ross top deck? Hopefully not an agenda here. He better use Caprice next time because that was scary.
Oh, Nerve Agent's coming out. Okay, interesting.
Does he have Grimoire?
No, so he's gonna have to build it up the slow way. But with the amount of money he has, this may pay off. No, doesn't want to see that one.
The booth.
Does have the David, which is nice, but still.
As long as Ross didn't top an agenda on the turn that he scored the NAPD, he's good here. I mean, he's going to see his Jacksons. He's going to trash them for free. There's one of them. I think that's not so bad.
Yeah.
Ross doesn't really care about losing his Jacksons right now.
Yeah, I think so. All of his assets are going away.
So he's paying 5 each time. And now 8 on that run.
Well, that was honestly pretty lucrative. I mean, you've got Jackson out of the game,
That
and
Caprice,
you've got
losing that Caprice is
out.
bad. But he paid 5 each time, right?
Yes, correct. So, like you said, I mean, the money, it's going to dry up. If you haven't been clicking Katie, I mean, the liberated accounts, having that out's really nice. I mean, 16 credits on the board is sweet.
Maybe Ross just draws an agenda. Like, he can't. I don't know. I don't know. It depends on what he draws, really. He's got a toll booth, which is great. And he still has a click left? No way. He ran 3 times.
Yeah, so this is where, he installed the daily cast, but this is where I like clicking Katie instead.
The clone chip brought out.
Right, because that could have been a Katie click, and you play daily cast next turn.
That's fine. I got confused on the click count. Interesting.
So this is right. We can't explain why Kevin bounced off the Turing last time, but I wonder if he thinks he's locked out of this when we know he's got David.
Do you see what went into the remote?
I did not. I think he installed the other Jackson, which makes sense to get the other 2 back in.
Well, EG 2.0, too bad we've got data suckers. No, he doesn't.
Now he had to install over for the Nerve Agent, but hopefully he looks at the David and says, "I've got David." He clicks it instead. Wow.
I think that's fair because you burned a whole David.
I agree.
If you've got the clicks, use the clicks first.
I agree with that.
Into another EG.
Okay, so he's letting the last the trace subroutine fire. And then, wow, yeah, so, I mean, Ross is pretty well. It takes the efficiency
That's
committee.
unfortunate. That's a single access.
Nothing you can do. It's Ross. I mean, again, you made the server moderately taxing. I mean, he's got the Omnit 4, but still, I mean, that's a beefy server to be able to go through. I think at this point, if he does get Caprice back with Jackson, I mean, he's got to put it on R&D. He has Biotics in the deck, so I think Ross has to be on the let me win out with Biotic. He's still got Vitruvius's. Yep. I mean, if I'm him, I'm looking to.
Resin hit Jackson once.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think you hit Jackson here.
Yeah, but you get that Nerve Agent loaded.
Oh, it's fully
right?
loaded, yeah. I think you take 3.
Yeah.
Take 3. He's more aware of the board state, obviously, because he's winning it. Just take 3.
I think you need to use the Jackson to shuffle the Caprices back because he's going to lose off of a random R&D access. Like, give yourself a chance to draw Caprice and protect R&D, and then just Biotic out to win that way as soon as you draw the agenda.
Yeah, Caprice on R&D is going to be really hard. As long as whatever agenda he draws, he can Biotic it out.
Yeah.
Because I think he's not running that many efficiency committees.
I mean, he has two Biotics in the deck, and I feel like that's his path to victory at this point. Is let me top deck an ABT, let me top deck a Project Vitruvius. All right, so counting up, figuring out what he's going to do. All right, Katie's getting used. She's feeling lonely for a while.
Breaker Bay.
Breaker Bay not on time. E. Yeah, I think we both had the same reaction.
Jackson.
Yeah. I like that. Now here's if you're Kevin, Do you run HQ after having seen the Jackson hit twice?
Well, he's going to watch. Click 1 was Jackson, right? Click 2 is going to be put that the agenda in the remote. There's no way he can let it stay in his hand.
Okay.
Yep.
He's betting the game on this. Let's see.
So he's making him think it's NAPD by advancing it once, too. What would be epic? But it's not a three-pointer. But if it was a three-pointer, then he bodied it out.
That would be awesome.
Well, what is... that's Earthrise trigger. What is in that remote that Ross feels so confident that...
He's got Ash in the remote.
But Dave's got more money right now.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I mean, Kevin forgot about the David being able to deal with Turing. I wonder if Ross uses that to his advantage to not, he just thinks he's locked out when he's not really locked out. I don't know.
But I think Ross, though, he has to have some one of those eyes he feel can keep David out. It's got to be something. I can't think of it right now. Like, yeah, but I can't. It could be. It's probably a code gate, but I can't think of what. That's what I'm saying. I couldn't think of what code gate it would be.
I mean, maybe it's a Victor 2, and he thinks he can use it to burn up his David counters because the clone chip's off the board now. Maybe it's that.
But because we said like he's probably not running the next eye, so it's not next bronze. Yep. There's no other really good code gate in faction that I see HB running.
All right, let's see.
He's got Lotus Field. I think it might be Lotus. I mean,
or IQ.
Field, I mean, no. It could either be IQ or it could be his toll booth. I forget where his toll booth went.
Let's see if Kevin remembers.
Broken by David, though.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
I can't even think of what it could be.
All right, so he remembers the David. Okay. So no res.
What is this mystery amazing ice? Wow, we're just playing the Ash game?
All right, let's see. Is he willing to move all in? He's going to get rewarded if he does. Yeah, that's it. All right, so wrapped up game 1. Ross doing everything he could to fend off after that flopped accelerated beta test.
Yeah, he said that my only hope was that you would forget you can break Turing.
Yeah,